More is not always better when you're doing exercise with oxygen therapy. But if a 15-minute session's great for me, wouldn't 3 or 4 sessions be even better? Or a half-hour session? No, not really. And it could do more harm than good. If you're looking to optimize your wellness with EWOT, it's important to know how often to use your EWOT system. So when I was really sick and my doctor recommended I do EWOT, I was desperate for relief. I would do anything to get better and get my life back. And so I was dedicated to everything I did. And so I did the research and I started my EWOT journey, and I knew it said 15 minutes for a session. But I thought, hey, why don't I do a half hour? I mean, every step I take is one step closer to the top of the mountain, that point I'm just dying for, to feel better and get my life back. And geez, maybe I just do it every day, 7 days a week. So there I was doing it a half hour a day, 7 days a week. And it was tough. It was a lot of work, especially when you're sick and you don't have the energy and you don't feel well. But I forced myself to. And eventually, as my brain fog lifted and I could think more clearly, I went back to the research. And the research was clear. It was a 15-minute session was all that was needed. And so I started doing just 15 minutes, and I backed down from 7 days a week down to 5. And I got even a little bit better benefits. And I got a big chunk of my life back, and it made it much more tolerable to do. It was easier on my sick body. I was feeling good, and I didn't have to spend all that time doing it. So, I always tell my children, all wisdom is pain. It's just a matter whether it's your pain or somebody else's. So today I'm going to share a little bit of my pain in the hopes that you don't have to go through it as well. So, as I tell my children, all wisdom is pain. It's just a matter of whether it's your pain or somebody else's. So today, I'm going to share some of my wisdom with you in hopes you don't have to go through the pain that I went through. So the first question is, how long should you do EWOT for? Well, as I mentioned, the proper session is only 15 minutes. And here's why. Back in the 1960s and 1970s, a gentleman named Von Ardeen did a lot of research on exercise with oxygen therapy. He's actually like the godfather of EWOT. And in his research, what he discovered was if folks did a 15-minute session on near pure oxygen, it caused this amazing change inside the circulatory system. Now, as we age, we start to develop inflammation in our circulatory system. And inside of our capillaries, which are thinner than a human hair, that swelling actually closes them where red blood cells can no longer get through. And so all of our tissues downstream become starved of oxygen. But he found that by doing a 15-minute EWOT session, he was able to reduce that inflammation and reestablish normal blood flow in our circulatory system. I mean, that's right. As you sit here, your body is actually starved of oxygen, and it doesn't matter how much you breathe, and it doesn't matter what else you're doing. It's building up. But when you start doing EWOT, it reestablishes normal blood flow. And it only takes 15 minutes for this change to happen. Now here's the cool part. He demonstrated that even after a few sessions on elderly folks who had the most swelling, he came back many weeks later and they still had normal blood flow in those areas that were previously blocked. So even a few sessions can have a big impact. Now, you may not be able to start with a 15-minute session. We have folks who come to us all the time who are very sick or they're out of shape and they're not able to do 15 minutes of exercise, and that's okay. So if you're very sick, what you actually want to do is you want to start out by actually breathing stationary oxygen. You don't need to do any exercise. We want you to sit down the first day you get the machine and breathe 5 minutes of oxygen from the mask, and then wait till the next day and see how you feel. And here's why. EWOT is an incredible detoxifier. It will help start mobilizing and getting toxins out of your system. But for very sick people, the toxins have built up for a long time inside their body because their body's in a lower energy state, and one of the things it does not do well in a low energy state is detox. And so when you reestablish oxygen, you start giving the cells energy, they start detoxing. But if you detox too quickly and you have too many toxins, it will overload your elimination organs. Your kidneys and your liver will not be able to keep up, and these toxins just recirculate in your circulatory system. And that causes all sorts of, quite frankly, it causes feelings like feeling hungover, or it can cause you to feel like you've got the flu. It's not a pleasant situation, and nobody needs to go through that. But if you ramp up slowly, you can avoid it. So if you're very sick, just start with 5 minutes of stationary breathing. And if you feel great, the next day increase and keep listening to your body until you get to 15 minutes of stationary oxygen breathing. Once you can do that, you can start adding in 1 and 2 minutes of exercise and over time growing it. So the first time you might do 14 minutes of stationary oxygen breathing, and at the end, your last minute, you do some exercise with it. And so on and so forth, and work your way back until you get to 15 minutes of exercise. Okay, so now we've got everyone up and you're doing 15 minutes and getting all that magical benefits in your circulatory system, the anti-inflammatory benefits, you're starting to detoxify, and you can't wait to do more of it and climb up that mountain, so to speak. How often should you do it? Well, the truth be told is the optimal is somewhere between 3 and 5 times a week. We don't necessarily want to do 7 times a week because exercise with oxygen therapy involves exercise. And if you exercise 7 days a week, you're not giving your body time to rest, recover, and repair. And we need time. Each time we exercise, we are wearing down our body just a little bit. And it needs a chance to recover from all of that and to help your body restore itself to where it was before. And so my recommendation is 5 times a week is best, 3 times is good. You'll even get benefits off of just 1 time a week. But if you can get 3 to 5 times, you'll get some of the best benefits, and you'll also give your body enough time to rest and repair so we're not wearing our body down. Now, if you were to do more, there's not a major risk of doing more EWOT. The risk is really in doing more exercise. So if you do too much exercise, obviously over-exercising can cause damage to the body. So we want to give ourselves time to rest and repair, and especially if you've got compromised health. Are there folks who can do it more frequently than 5 times a week? Well, certainly there are, and there's some folks who would benefit. So if you're a competitive athlete and you're exercising 6 or 7 times a week, there's no harm in adding an EWOT session. EWOT actually helps with the recovery and repair process. So yes, adding EWOT, no problem there. If you're someone who's very well trained and exercises more frequently, adding EWOT to it offers no harm and certainly some benefits. But for everybody else, our recommendation is 3 to 5 times where we're balancing gaining those benefits and also giving our body some time to rest and repair. Okay, so as I said, if you want to get the best benefits from EWOT, do a 15-minute session so you get all those amazing circulatory benefits that Von Ardeen taught us about, and do it about 3 to 5 times a week. Give yourself at least 1 to 2 days a week to have your body rest, repair, and recover from the exercise, and you'll see the best benefits out of it. Now, if you enjoyed our video, check out our next one where we'll be talking about how long it takes to fill the reservoir. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much.